Demon Slayer, one of the last big three to return. 48-minute episode. 48 minutes worth watching. All right, guys. Brent here, back for Geek to cover all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, and more. This time, Demon Slayer. We're getting into the Hashira training arc and one of our biggest Demon Slayer fans on the channel, our boy Will, Team Sonomy. How are we feeling about episode 1 of the Hashira training arc?
I mean, it's solid. I mean, I watched it back in February. I wanted to watch it again here to see if there's anything different, if they changed anything, or if it was truly just the first episode. And what they showed in the theaters was pretty much essentially the last episode of the last arc and the first episode of this arc. So everything stayed true. Everything was still exactly the same. Animation quality was great. And they just kind of kick off getting right into things because we see Saname and Iguro. What's his name?
The snake Hashira, I believe, is a girl, yes.
Yeah, freaking. So again, I'm bad with these names. I'll be trying to figure it out, people. But yeah, they're going through trying to rescue a girl, and they stumble upon the freaking Infinity Castle, and it's just like, yeah, stuff is about to get real here, and this is what I'm most excited about. And they really set the stage for the opening of this entire arc and kind of the stakes of where things are going. So I don't know. I'm happy about it.
I was going to say, even just running into the Infinity Castle is very amazing. The Infinity Castle arc, when we get to that, which is not now, it'll be that next arc, the internet's going to collectively lose their minds. And if you're part of our live streams, because we're trying to stream more, get more active, get more engagement with you guys, the viewers, be sure to hit that like button if you enjoy those streams with us. Having a great time doing them thus far. But that arc is going to blow the internet's mind. So seeing that we're getting the Hashiras are slowly getting some more information on what's going on, what Muzan is sort of doing, what he's trying to plan is interesting in of itself. And the fact now that the Hashira are getting even more inspired by the fact that they have taken out a couple more of the upper rank demons is definitely telling to see where things are going to be at. Anytime you can get Gyu in or Guillaume in, things are going to get super interesting, especially with Guillaume. Those of you who haven't been introduced to him, you're going to love this entirety of his arc. This dude is the number one Hashira for a reason. He is the strongest and one of the most broken characters you'll see. But how they use him and utilize him throughout the series is going to be super impressive. I know we're all going to find our own Hashira that we truly like. I'm just happy that Tengen came back. I was not expecting him. I even remarked during the live stream, I thought he was retired, but my boy made a comeback. Anything else exciting about this arc really start to stand out for you as we got going?
I mean, besides seeing some of the Hashira in action and seeing some more of these moves, like, Wind Form 2, the claws purifying wind, which was just ridiculously because he was covered in blood after it was over. Again, we're getting more into seeing their abilities and how things are going to unlock their latent abilities. So that's when we get to talking about the marks. We've seen that, Tanjiro has had his mark, show. We've seen Mitsuri has had her mark show. We've seen Tokito's had his mark show. Like, again, under a certain amount of stress and, other qualifying factors, the mark shows up and they're able to do these amazing things. So now the rest of the Hashira, who are essentially some of the stronger Hashira, are now on their quest to unlock their marks to be able to do more damage because, again, they're ready to take this fight further. And that's kind of what we're getting into is like, okay, who's about to get stronger, who's about to get ramped up, and who's going to do some damage.
Yeah, because we just saw that Nezuko, now the fact she's able to be in the sun, they all know it. Muzan is going to be on the move here at some moment in time. What that move will be, what he's going to do, we don't know. So they're deciding, hey, while we have the upper hand here, so to speak, we need to come together collectively, push ourselves to the max, to the limits, and try and be ready for when this moment happens, whether it be on home turf or on his turf, wherever we're going to be, we need to be the strongest selves we can be. The only downside this is once you unlock your Hashira mark, your lifespan is dramatically decreased and you're likely to die within the next 4 to 5 years. But again, as a Hashira, I feel like going in, your lifespan isn't going to be all that long in of itself, and they want to fulfill their master's quest while he's still here, because for all intents and purposes he's bedridden. His spirit is living on through them, and they want to embody that, respect that, and make these things happen. Whether Gyu is going to get on the same page as everybody else and start pushing himself like everyone else, we'll see. Maybe he's going through his own level of self-searching, self-loathing, whatever case may be. But we need everyone to get on the same page here to push themselves, because with the mark, Moichiro and Mitsuri, super high up there in terms of rank. But as far as, as we saw where everyone's sitting, they're near the back. They are some of the weaker ones. So if you could give your upper rank guys their extra push, things are going to be nuts, because they still have to take out Akaza, they still have to take out Domu, and they still got to take out the number one before you even think of going at Muzan. And then I know you brought it up very astutely on that live stream. That girl with the guitar, she needs to go, because otherwise she's just going to keep playing popcorn style transitions with everyone, and you're not going to be able to go where you need to go on this mission. And as someone who's very keen on missions and objectives and getting things done, you don't want someone messing that up in the middle of, the heat of the action, where you got to all of a sudden everything falls apart within, that long.
Yeah, I mean, you got to cut off escape routes and stuff. So if they're able to stop it, or better yet, get control of it, but then that's going to put things in their favor. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, they're going to need all the tools at their disposal. And speaking of tools, we see that Tanjiro got a new sword once again. And this sword is a sword that he got from the training dummy that was inside the training dummy, which apparently is held by, an esteemed master before, probably one of the first demon slayers, because the character engraved on it, every sword has Destroyer of Demons engraved on it. But this sword has just the one character for Destroy on it, which kind of leads me to think that, okay, this was like the original sword. This was like the original one that was doing the damage, and it's a deeper shade of black. So it's way more going on with this sword, and probably the abilities of this sword to do damage to demons. So Tanjiro now has Rengoku's, sword guard on there. I think so, the Suba, whatever. He has that on there, and he's ready to go. So now we're going to see how his training goes. Hopefully he does not break this sword or lose this sword at any point in time. But yeah.
Because like the swordsmith at that moment will probably end Tanjiro, his entirety of existence, because we've all seen that while certain characters are definitely stronger than others at certain moments in time, when characters are amped up in a silly fashion, Tanjiro even fears for his life from the most average of blacksmiths. But now we also have Zenitsu coming back, who's over the moon about Nezuko, almost into an annoying fashion, but at the same time, he's happy she's back. And then my personal favorite, Inosuke, has come back, and he heard the word training, which is one of his trigger words that makes him excited for life, excited for living, and wants to show everybody just how strong the, Mountain King, he calls himself, self-anointed and self-appointed, of course, how strong he really can be. So we got the gang back together. They'll be out training with everybody once Tanjiro is back up and running. And we're going to see just how strong they are after they came back from their own respective missions. Because if we remember correctly, they weren't with the boys last season. They were doing their own things. They had their own time for growth, and they both survived, thank goodness. It's going to be a lot to get into next episode. I don't think I really have much else to get into. Animation was fantastic. I'm just happy one of the big three is back. Any final thoughts, Will?
No, I just want to see how this training is going to go. Again, they gotta systematically go through each Hashira to learn some things kind of going up. So whatever they got to learn, like, it's going to be intense for them, as basic demon slayers coming up to Hashira level. And then whatever is set up for was it Tamayo, like whatever she's got going on with the crow and going to the demon slayer headquarters to work on something with the insect Hashira, like that's some kind of trump card. I want to know what that's about.
Because I mean, if you're summoning a demon directly to a Hashira mansion, things are going to be interesting. I'm sure they're going to work on some kind of potion, some kind of concoction,
Poison,
something to give them like a either a heads up on Muzan or that this little leg up. You never know. There's so much to break down. Just now, you could have your own speculation video just there. So you astutely pointed out, things are moving.
Yes.
So a lot of great stuff from this series. Be sure to hit that lovely red subscribe button. We cover all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, Star Wars, and more. Tons of amazing animes to break down for you. Next time I see you will be for X-Men 97 Season 1's finale. Be sure to be there for the live stream. I'll have that thumbnail made for you all shortly so you guys can hit that notification bell. So when we go live, you can join with us, laugh, rejoice, be sad, whatever the case may be. I have no idea what this next episode holds. I'm excited now. I'll get off your screen.